I have a question around your channel, because one thing that I see happening very often, and happened to me, and I mean, my channel is like so dead and not even close to be compared to yours, but what I see, what you deal really well with is bullies. I've seen several, you're calling out the bully. I've seen several times that people try to come up with a stupid comment on one of your videos, and you always find a way to put them in their place. And I also like that you're very open and honest about what's going on with companies. I remember that case where this company wanted a say in how the videos should be, and that everything should be positive and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think there are a lot of people out there who do that, to be honest.
Thank you. I was waiting for a question, but I'll happily just respond to that. I started the channel because I felt that there was a music newspaper in the UK called NME. It's quite famous. Many people know it. It's been around, I think, since the 60s. And every time I was buying it as a teenager, and every time I bought it, it said, the new best indie band, this band. And then next week, it would be, the new best indie band is this band. And it used to really frustrate me, because I'm like, that can't be. And I was a teenager, and I was still very trustworthy of grown-ups and corporations and people and establishments. And I stopped buying the magazine. And then the same thing happened with YouTube, where it was the best overdrive or the best this and the ultimate that. And I got very frustrated thinking, firstly, I thought, what they're doing looks easy. It isn't. So I've learned that. And also, it can't be the best overdrive because you played the best overdrive literally 7 days ago. Yeah. And I now know that it's a lot more complicated than that. And I've seen how the sausage is made.
Look, mine's not working.
So it's not as black and white as that. It's mainly grey. But the whole basis of my channel is, I'm definitely not an expert. I'm definitely not a virtuoso, but I am open and honest, and I will give you what I really think. And there is some packaging added on top of that, like YouTube thumbnails and titles. But the actual meat of the stuff is just me sat in this room talking to what I think are my friends, and I think that's very, what's the word? It's very digestible by most people, rather than by having marketing thrown at you. And that's what I try to do with my channel, and I can't do anything else. So luckily, I've just done it enough that it's gained an audience. And the people that watch my channel, hello, if you're watching this, by the way, we are, some of us, actual online friends. I count them as sort of people that I respect and enjoy spending time with. So that's really cool. And by doing that, the channel is generally a nice place, the comments section. But then there's always someone trying to, poke the bear or upset the smiley weird guy. And I genuinely don't know what those people are doing with their lives. I will also say I don't always deal with it, Frank, in the best way. It's just maybe you've seen the highlights. There are some times I've learned a lot in the past, put it that way. There's, of course, two ways of doing it: engage them or ignore them. But my favorite way of dealing with people that are just out to, set the world on fire is just write, "Are you okay?" ? Sometimes you'll get an answer, and I've even had people say, "No, I'm having a really tough time. I'm sorry I wrote that. Blah blah blah." Sometimes you just get someone with some verbal diarrhea, and they just want to, unleash the anger. And sometimes people don't respond to that. So I genuinely do care if someone's okay, but also that "are you okay" covers you're being a dick. Stop it, Yeah. And it's really quick to type, to be quite frank. Oh, no, I won't be frank. You be frank. Sorry, I'm a dad.
Have you ever found that by having this approach, you took a viewer and were able to convert them into someone that could actually become not only a subscriber, but someone that contributes positively to your community online?
Yes. To talk about when I used to work in the nightclubs again, we used to have this then, well, because I was a manager, I had people, I was responsible for, and I went to all these seminars to try and improve that, and it was mainly bullshit. But there were some things that I learned was you can have an employee who can be a terrorist employee, they call them. So they work there and they do their best to upset everybody and to actively not make money, I guess, or actively make the place worse. And that's what I call these commenters. But if you can turn a terrorist into a proponent, then they are the strongest positive force that you can have in that business. And I took that from what I learned from whatever seminar that was, and applied it to the YouTube channel, and it's absolutely true. There are people now that have been very, very naughty, shall we say, and now they're really strong. They watch every video, they comment. They don't always agree, and that's absolutely fine. They're still honest and open, but there's a respect now and a kind of partnership, and they have ownership slightly of the channel, and by doing that, they end up defending the channel or me or the piece of gear or someone else in the comments for me, which is great. And yeah, I see that as a real achievement. I know that I just play guitar and just talk about guitar stuff, but my life wouldn't be as fulfilling if I just did that. So I kind of try and be a positive force within my sphere of people, if that makes sense. And maybe that's overreaching slightly, but it is it is important to me to do something positive without being positive about the gear, to be honest about the gear, but be positive when you're, snagging something off.